Her name is Roda Osman. Online, she's known as Brick Lady, and her video went viral in 2023. But tonight, she is here in the Harris County Jail after a jury found her guilty of stealing more than $40,000 in a GoFundMe scheme.
This man just hit me in my face with a brick.
The selfie video by Roda Osman got millions of likes, but prosecutors say her claims of a man throwing a brick at her head didn't match the evidence.
There were some people that had a lot to say about this that are very, very quiet right now, and I'm kind of worried about them. So I want to reintroduce them back to the public and what they said. So back in late 2023, early 2024, I just decided that in this post and delete culture that I wanted to capture some of the people and their responses to this Brick Lady situation in real time so that they can't delete it when a day like today comes about. So without further ado, I give you the longest it's ever taken me to conceive, plan, and then put together a video. It's almost 2 years. Let's take a look at something I call the Brick Lady Vault.
I've been trying to calm my nervous system down to talk about this black woman getting hit with a brick in front of a whole bunch of black men who did nothing to help protect her, because I didn't want to be too angry. But honestly, fuck that. You deserve to see our anger when we're talking about this. The men who are like, it's not our job to protect black women, blah, 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 we don't have to do that. It's time for y'all to admit that men scare you. You're terrified of men, shaking in your fucking boots so much that you can't even run up when you need to. You know how violent men are. You know they're violent and you're scared. Well, if we do something that he might do this. If we say something he might, you're absolutely fucking correct. And you know that your silence buys you time, that you could sit there and be silent and shut the up and be scared and sit in your fear by yourself in your own body, while black women, we don't have that. We don't have that luxury. It doesn't matter what we say or do. We're receiving the violence anyways, and you know your silence gives you privilege where you can sit and watch that shit at our expense. Instead of calling at the men who are making you feel afraid and scared because they're crazy, right? And we share the same fear as y'all, you project it onto us. You project it onto us as if it's our fault that they're acting like this and that we receive violence from them, and you victim blame us, and you try to find any reason to make it make sense on why we deserve the violence that we receive. That woman could have died. She literally could have died. It's a blessing she didn't die. And what are y'all doing? Going up on her social media to try to find reasons why she deserved that violence. You got men who are claiming that they allegedly were one of the men who didn't help protect her, and he's talking about, I don't regret that decision. Just a month ago, we love to see a young black boy jump in some water to swim to help an older black man fight off these white people who were hitting him. We were rejoicing seeing the black woman getting in that brawl, helping their black king. Yes, black queen, help your black king out. And at the end of the day, we still have to protect ourselves. It don't, in the midst of it not mattering what we say or do, what we wear, we're still receiving the same type of violence, and we're just hoping and praying that the man we encounter is not one of them crazy ones. We still have to protect ourselves and say something and try to pull out all the stops for ourselves and for other black women. Because there have been countless times where I've been the one or another black woman has been the one to help protect me and say something in front of a man who is being violent. And that's where I think it really gets to the nitty-gritty. I think our strength triggers y'all. I think you see that no matter the type of violence we receive, we still have the type of strength and fortitude that y'all dream of. Because you can just be silent. And you know your silence can protect you in ways that it doesn't protect us. But we still decide to speak the up.
Hey y'all, so I'm coming to give you guys an update on the Roe situation. So I previously did the video that shared the hospital reports. This is the police report sent directly from Roe, y'all. And so one of my, I guess people on YouTube sent me these messages of this conversation that they were having with her about another creator who has been basically lying on Roe, saying that that her injuries were because of a tooth infection, like a tooth abscess, when Roe was literally hit with a brick. And so these are just those messages of like somebody kind of letting her know what was going on. And as you guys can see, Roe had no idea that this was taking place. And so she's proving that she's is talking to an investigator right here. And Roe has stated that she's going to sue these creators that are lying on her. She stated she's not talking to the news because she has to protect herself. So this situation of all these people coming at her has really placed her, y'all, in fear. Like she's scared. Roe is scared now. And so basically she's being told what is going on basically on social media, and Ro responds, this is super disgusting that this woman has no proof and is just trying to get popular off of her pain. It's so hurtful and heartbreaking. And I've already said this. I said, these people, this lady got hit in the face with a brick. Ro said, I'm so scared for all Black women right now. They hate us so much. This kind of hate is so ugly. Like, oh my goodness gracious. Like, my heart really goes out to this woman, because I really feel like I just sat and watched a whole internet-wide smear campaign on one woman using videos that she did as a skit that had all consensual participants in it, okay, for that content. I'm 100% sure that content is some fetish-based race play type content. And people are getting her social media persona confused with who she is as a person. I think that people are reaching down into the depths of this lady's freaking toenail, underneath her toenail, and all the way up into her womb and uterus to find things, to find the issue with this lady. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't care nothing about her past, because honestly it's about what happened right now. And did this woman get hit with a brick, and being focused on the incident at hand. And I'm saying that people really need to like stop and really evaluate themselves. That's what I would say. Y'all really need to stop and really evaluate yourselves. Okay, peace, y'all. I'm out.
And the really ironic part about this is all of this conversation is being had around the idea of generalizing all men, right? And I find it baffling that in a conversation where she said, why aren't these men defending me? Exclusively referring to the people around her, these men said, oh, don't generalize all men. But what did they go and do as like the other men who didn't throw a brick at her argue that she deserved it? And I think that some men don't get that when that's your experience with men, that you really have no reason to believe that they're not going to be either the guy who throws a brick at you or the dude who defends the guy who throws a brick at you. You really have no reason not to generalize all men. Even these men who are talking about why they shouldn't stand up for her are afraid of violent men. So it's not like that comes from nowhere.
So they charged this woman with fraud because she said she was hit by a brick, but they said she was hit by a water bottle, but they do acknowledge she was hit. They do acknowledge it was marks left on her face. So she can't get a GoFundMe to take care of what. And then this really the part that had me scratching my ass. TikTokers provide police information on Osman false claims past alleged scams. During the investigation, detectives said they received call from Daphne Sutton, a mental health advocate and blogger on TikTok, who believed Osman was conducting a scam because similar situation happened in Minneapolis in 2020. Daphne Sutton, the queen of accountability that literally made about 30, you know what I'm saying? It's exaggeration. I say probably like 10 to 15 different Twitter videos about her calling Houston law enforcement and saying, hey, Ro, yeah, she's scamming. Queen of accountability.
Emulating white folks will never get our community anywhere. In fact, it actively sets our community back. The Black community is the most successful when we are acting the complete opposite of white folks, actually, because of white supremacy. White folks will never let us be them, so why are we being like them? That doesn't make any sense. Where are we getting this whole, I only help my own, I only help the women I know, I don't help strangers? When they did the bus boycotts, do you really think all those people knew each other? I bet you it would have been really convenient to get on the bus and go to work instead of walking or trying to find a cab or arranging carpool and all those other things that they did for that. But instead, they stood with their fellow community members and helped them. So yeah, no, Black folks have never had this whole I only help my own mentality. So I don't know why y'all are trying to adopt that now, thinking that it's going to somehow make us like white people adjacent, because it never will. Now, this whole individualistic mentality that y'all have adopted, it comes directly from white supremacy. That's directly related to white supremacy. But the thing is that this individualism resulted in a woman getting hurt, and then y'all not doing anything about it, and then y'all making fun of her, and then y'all calling her a scammer and saying it was a hoax and all these different things. The byproduct of that individualism, they're going to weaponize that against y'all in order to pass legislation, prevent y'all from getting in schools, preventing y'all from getting certain jobs. So yeah, no, it will be to your detriment to ever act like the white man because you're simply not him. And a lot of black men are blinded by their hatred for black women that they're not seeing this coming and they're actively playing into it. Black men are actively normalizing violence, specifically against black women in the community. And the white man is taking notice of that. And do you really think that he's going to sit back and lose the opportunity to cash in on this fact? No. And y'all are actively setting us back. 40, 50, 60 years worth of activism is going down the drain as we speak. Because y'all just gotta make a joke about a brick man. You need to be so serious and so for real. Y'all are laughing at a black woman getting hurt because it's a hoax. She's a scammer. There's no proof. There's no evidence. She did this back in 2020. Boo hoo 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 hoo. So y'all are doing all of that while simultaneously giving the white man everything he needs to go ahead and make his case against y'all. Good luck with that.
Before I start this video, I would like to say, please donate to Reparations Roda. That is Ro Osman's Cash App, and Roda-Osman, that is her Venmo. Please donate to her. She is not asking, I am asking. What I don't understand is how 250,000 people collectively reported Ro Osman's GoFundMe, and how every single black content creator that I have seen, or major black content creator, male or female, for some reason are continuing to go along with the narrative that she's a scammer and that she's lying. Basically, they're doubling down, using her previous history as an excuse for whatever happened on that night. And the biggest reason why I don't understand it is because there have been police officers who have unalived unarmed black men. But for some reason, when those police officers had GoFundMes for their defense, we did not collectively come together to get those GoFundMes shut down like we would one of our own. And it doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't understand how we as a people can collectively go this hard against black women who clearly don't have any defense except for other black women and maybe a few or a small handful of black men. But yet these YT people who have literally unalived black men in our community and had GoFundMes and profited off of the unaliving of black men, we don't go that hard against them, and it doesn't make any sense. The math is not mathing for me.
Update on Row Reports, please watch her most recent video. It's tagged in my caption. She's seeing this discourse, just like every woman in your life is seeing everyone validate a brick to the face. We need to know who he is. Get his.
I was about to wrap things up for tonight, but then I got this in my inbox.
Life with Row tonight.
And will continue to happen if this is not addressed. It's no longer about who hit me with a brick. That's the police job and my job. It's about how do we stop this?
If you're not interested about the updates on Row, you can go ahead and scroll. If you're tired of hearing people talk about this, you can keep scrolling. I'm not even going to touch on the harassment that I've received, the threatening messages. I'm not going to touch on the heartbreak that I experienced. I talk about black issues all the time. So I didn't understand what was happening here with the Row situation. I was completely ignorant to the backlash I received for supporting her. It took me by surprise, y'all. It took me about 2 weeks to really calm down. And I understand we're not going to always agree. I did receive a message in my inbox from a guy that was apologizing to me. And I do appreciate the apology, but I still want to know, where did your anger come from? Because if it was a man getting hit with a brick, I would have felt the same way. I asked this man, where did his anger come from? He said that it just wasn't him. He just wasn't acting himself. But is that really okay to attack somebody because of their opinion about protecting another woman? I'm still going to ask, what is this guy's name? We need him off the street, because at minimum, this is attempted M. If he'd have hit her in the wrong spot, she probably wouldn't be here today. But let's get into this NBC article, because Row has spoke out. The headline is so embarrassing, y'all. Brickgate revives an age-old argument between black men and women. Embarrassing. With the lack of clarity on what went down, some women and men alike called Brickgate a hoax, comparing Osman to Carly Russell, a black woman who was charged with 2 misdemeanors in July after apologizing for faking her own kidnapping. In this exclusive interview, Row explains the nightmare that she has been experiencing since this attack. She suffered daily panic attacks and nightmares. She stated that it was little that she felt like she could do to convince people that her story was true. She goes into the fact that people tried to debunk her police reports and her medical records. It states that NBC News did receive the police report that was filed on September the 3rd. Along with her physical exams, it states that the records indicate her left ear had blood coming out the canal and the left side of her face was swollen with bruising and tenderness. Police have identified the suspect for the assault and the investigation is ongoing. Praise God. Get this, y'all. She is in school. We have to support her. She says, I don't know how I'm going to support myself. I don't know how I'm going to graduate on time. I don't know how I'm going to, feel safe again. Brickgate points to a familiar pattern of backlash hurled at Black women when they publicly denounce harm from Black men. The back and forth from detractors and supporters of Osman represents long simmering tensions between Black women and men that now play out on social media. And they give the example of Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. A commenter stated, Black men pulling stuff from a Black woman's social media. They claimed that she didn't deserve protection when a Black man smashed her face with a brick for not giving him her number. Same thing that white supremacists do after cops Black people to claim they deserve to be unalive. I might be saying her last name wrong, so just bear with me. Rose states, I am an independent, strong, educated, successful Black woman, she said. That makes a lot of them infuriated by my existence alone. You know how I use the examples in my video with Jamia Harris? She goes into questions that people were asking her online as if they couldn't believe that this could happen to a woman because of rejection, which is why I made my video about Jamia Harris. Sometimes you don't have to do much. And if you're somebody that can handle rejection, I'm not talking about you. But there are some people that's walking around that is like that, which is why I used the Jamia case, which is why I showed you the Essence article. But she goes on to say, everybody's like, oh, come on, tell me what you did to him. What did you do? Did you taunt him? She said. It's so ironic to me that they're like, I can't believe somebody would do something that violent for no reason. But then you're online being violent for no reason. OMG, y'all. I may have to make a part 2. No, y'all didn't. People are calling my son's school saying that they're going to come and grape my son. Someone sent her soup to her home and was like choking unalive on this bee. That is disgusting. Absolutely horrible. I told y'all I will make a follow-up video when she speaks out. Here's the follow-up. I may have to do a part 2, but I'm not going to beat a dead horse. But I do want to end it with Professor Stewart. She says, American society, especially Black men, do not listen to Black women when we say, please do not harm us. She states, as people of African descent in this country, we are most anxious and conflicted and torn and have feelings of inadequacy, not about our race, but about our gender, Stewart says. I am 100% convinced of that. And it does put us in a divide. And it does put us on divided sides of an issue. Y'all didn't tell me it was a video that was in 2022 of her doing the same thing. See, when the talking points came out, y'all was comparing a skit that I had already saw with men participating in the video. Now, I guess people have done their thorough research and figured out that she has done this before. And I'm not going to try to edit too much. I'm just going to get to the point. I seen a friend come out and say that she has done the same thing to her. They go out to the club, she hit a switch, and she starts cussing everybody out. And she said that she sat idly by for a minute, but people kept commenting on her page or pictures, which caused her to want to speak out. With us knowing that these people are exposing themselves to be women haters or don't like us at all. It's nothing that we can do to even change their heart or their mind, and I'm not here to do that. I never told you to protect her and put your body at harm's way. I don't know where that came from. What I said was, how do you sit idly by and watch somebody get smacked with a brick and not even call for help or see if she's okay? That's what I said. It's just inhumane, to be quite honest with you, to not see somebody getting plummeted by a brick and just sit there. Regardless, now that we know that she has a mental illness, that's even worse to me. Because people with mental illness get pushed to the side. They're not cared for. They're forgot about. And I just would like to hear from the guy that she supposedly slapped. I want to hear from him what happened. And then I seen somewhere where the owner of the store that they were at said that there was no altercation. At this point, I'm done with this story. I care not to talk about Black women versus Black men. I'm not a Black man. I can't tell you how to be a Black man. But I would appreciate it if you stop trying to tell me how to be a Black woman. Y'all don't know what we deal with, just like we don't know what you deal with truly in the inside. We can empathize and have sympathy for you, but We don't know what that truly feels like. I do got to get back to homework and my children. And it will always be and forever be protect black women. Have y'all seen this mess with gunplay? Okay. Y'all have a good day.
So now that this man that came out and said he was the one that hit Roe with the brick, where y'all apology videos at? Because y'all owe Roe an apology. Now that this man has come out and identified himself as the man who assaulted Roe, because y'all keep saying she was not assaulted. Now this man is saying he did it. Roe has identified him and said, yes, that's absolutely the man that did this to me. Are y'all going to apologize to her? Y'all should have been apologizing to her after that report came out and they said that everything she said was correct and they double checked it. They checked their facts. They fact checked. They said that Roe wasn't lying. Now the man is coming out and saying, yeah, I did it. And Roe saw the man and said, yep, that's who did it. Are y'all going to apologize to Roe? Or are y'all going to keep being disrespectful, calling her brick lady and saying she lying? Y'all owe Roe an apology. All of y'all owe Roe an apology. Literally all of y'all owe Roe an apology. But remember how y'all was all over this platform saying how black women that was saying that y'all owe black men an apology. Where the apology videos at? We'll apologize when y'all apologize to Roe. And guess what? We don't have nothing to apologize for because we told y'all Roe wasn't lying. Are y'all gonna keep that same energy and apologize to Roe? My girl deserves apologies on top of apologies on top of apologies. It amazes me how y'all do not believe black women whatsoever, even when all the facts come out and it says she didn't lie. Now the man himself has come forward. Where are Roe's apologies? Y'all need to apologize to Roe. Immediately. Expeditiously.
It was fun going down memory lane. I get memories about some of these people and how strong they were in their view and how they knew they were right and how men weren't shit and that we don't protect our women and all this other stuff that they talk about online. And unfortunately, we're just going to have to start turning some people off because you were right. Black men, you were right. I need to impress that upon you because I don't think we hear it enough. When we are right about something, it's always brushed under the rug and moved on to the next thing. Oh, don't make too much of a big deal about it. Don't brag, don't boast about it. No, you need to take a victory lap because you were right in this case. Assuming you wasn't simping. So there was a couple simps out there. I put the simps in there too, consciously. But this isn't the only thing you've been right about. That's the problem here. I don't think we get enough credit for the things that we are right about. And the leadership that we hold, the leadership position that we should hold in the black community. Because right now, it's like, if we look at how things are messed up in the community, I think a lot of it comes from a lack of leadership. And as resistant as our counterparts are, we're going to have to put our foot down eventually. Or we're going to allow them to continue to be manipulated. Because men could see this woman was scamming a mile away. But anyway, let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. Make sure you sign up for the Patreon. The link is in the description and the pinned comment. This is Faucette Media.